Hello, I'm landscape painter Daniil Belov. I paint on plein air a lot and I'm creating a course on this. In this video I'll tell you which things are necessary when you go to paint on plein air. Firstly, you'll need a painter's case. It's better to carry it in a backpack instead of hanging it on a single strap over your shoulder. Some painter's cases have straps. It's better to use a backpack to keep the case from swinging and throwing you off balance. You will need a surface, also known as base material, the thing on which you will paint. You will need a palette to mix paints. It's best to use a wooden varnished palette for oil painting. Varnished wood is comfortable to work with, and if you clean it soon after using it, it will remain almost like new. In addition, you'll need something to draw the outline of the composition. It can be a pencil or a charcoal. I prefer a pencil as it's cleaner. You'll also need something to make corrections to the outlined composition, namely an eraser. You will probably need a knife to sharpen the pencil. And you'll need a set of brushes. I think that it's better to start with bristle brushes, but certainly it's your choice. For small studies, it's better to have a set of wide brushes, and some small and medium brushes. I suppose around 3 of each kind. 3 narrow, 3 wide and 3 medium. You'll need a palette knife to mix colors and to clear them from the palette. Some people paint with the palette knife. Some use the palette knife to erase mistakes. In a nutshell, a palette knife is a handy thing. You'll need a reservoir to carry paint thinner. I use a metal flask, but you need to make sure that yours doesn't leak. Some flasks leak here sometimes. If you keep an eye on it, a flask should be safe. You'll need a palette cup to hold thinner while painting. The palette cup can be fixed to the palette like this. This makes it more comfortable to work. You'll need the paints themselves. I don't want to give you some certain strict lists about which paints to carry with you. But you must understand that you need a set from which you can mix all the colors that you need for painting. Usually there is white paint, some blue paint, green paint, red paint and yellow paint. Generally this set is sufficient. It all depends. You might need some additional colors. For example, I have violet paint. And you'll need rags for sure. You need rags to wipe your brushes firstly, and secondly so that you can clean the paint which remains on the palette. You can wrap it in the rag and then throw it away later. Some people prefer to using toilet paper or paper towels instead of rags. I don't like this because the paper gets oily fast. You also need a lot of it and it tears and stains everything around it. I think that rags are much more useful. Also you'll need an umbrella when working on plein air, for protection from the sun. I don't know if you'll need it or not, but it makes things more comfortable. A folding chair. It's better if the chair is light. Aluminum, for example, is very light. And it should be high enough so it is comfortable for you to sit on it. And wide enough. And you'll probably need a hat if you paint in a hot place or in sunny weather. You should even wear a hat when it isn't sunny, because even in cloudy but hot weather you can still get a tan. Or, for example, when we sit near water, even if we feel like we are in the shade, sometimes the sun is shining on the water and the sunshine reflects from the water and reaches us, and your nose can sometimes get burnt from that. You'll need a hat, and it is good if it protects the ears, neck, and it's good if it has a brim, so that the sun or some other random light will not shine in your eyes. You have to protect your skin from burning in hot weather. Wear clothing that covers you, but it will be hard to cover your hands. In hot weather it will be almost impossible. You must use some sunscreen, because prolonged ultraviolet exposure can lead to a serious illness, namely cancer. You'll need some comfortable footwear, for sure, if you are going to go into the brush or to climb some rocks. You should avoid bright or too white clothes because they can reflect the light and make color reflections or simply cause a glare on your painting. You will also need insect repellent, which can protect you not only from mosquitoes but from ticks, horseflies and scary midges, which are quite frightening because their bites can lead to an allergic reaction or something like that. They can crawl from underground, wait for you, and they might jump on you and bite you. Please tell me in the comments what you include in your plein air setup and what colors you take with you. It would be great to know how sets differ in various countries. In the second part of the video I'll talk about what special things I take with me in my personal set of colors.